Welcome back to Tapngrl, tapping into you. Today, I have a special guest with me. I actually have my husband, Scott Liose, who's going to help me with our theme, our subject today, which is going to be tapping with children. We'll get to Scott in a minute. He's used to me being in charge. Yeah, right. We're both still struggling with you're not the boss of me. Okay, so first of all, I am your host, Colette Tapngrl, and Lisa, who is normally with me, is not today. She had a situation at home that she's taking care of, and since I know the tapping pretty well, I turned to my husband and I said, you can sit in. So here we are. We're here today to bring you the tapping, and we're going to talk about tapping with children. I'm going to introduce my other friends here in just a minute. Okay, so I'm going to tell you first that the way that you can find me, there's multiple ways. You can find me at tapngrl.com. That is Tapngrl. A way to email me is tapngrl77@gmail.com. I work in groups and I do private session, and I'll tell you about the tapping in a second. But Scott, why don't you tell us about your exciting new life?
Well, thank you. I just launched a new company. It's called Aware Branding, and you can reach me at 317-437-8448 or Scott at a-warebranding.com, and I'll be focusing on event planning with promotional products.
Yay! Okay, our house has been really busy with all these new endeavors we got going on. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my sponsors. I'd like to give a special thanks to Logan Street Signs and Banners. They specialize in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 or visit their website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions, and you can contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out online at www.noblesvilletrophies.com. I'm glad all that was written down so that I could get that in, because our sponsors make it possible for you to learn about the tapping technique. It is through their generosity that we're able to be here. Okay, next order of business, I want to remind you all, I am not a doctor. I am not a psychologist. If you're under a doctor's care, then stay under that doctor's care. You can actually use tapping to augment your healing, whatever it is that you're going through. But do not replace it, okay? I want to talk next about this past weekend. We were at an expo at the Hamilton County Fairgrounds. It was a wellness and psychic fair. There were all kinds of people there. It was all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and there was everything there from nutritional products to all kinds of modalities of healing. It was really an exciting weekend. I got to have a booth with Lisa, who you normally see sitting here. Scott was there as well. He put our event together, and it was just really a tremendous opportunity. Is there anything you want to say about it?
No, I really enjoyed it, and Jim Wofford had a chance to even come out, and he's got a little video on Hometown Television, so you can check it out a little there.
Yes, it was really great fun. I taught a tapping class on Tuesday, and next thing I want to go to is, let's just cover tapping real fast. Tapping is a way to de-stress in mind and body while we are using the ancient Chinese meridian system of the body along with modern day psychology, so that we're tapping meridian points on the face and body while we are addressing negative emotions and negative emotional experiences. Tapping can be used for anything and everything. Okay, in my world, everything is a tappable issue. Okay, so it's based on the concept that the cause of all negative emotions is a disruption in the body's energy system. And today's topic, we are actually going to show you how to do some tapping with little kids. Okay, imagine you and your life experience where you had a way to tap out negative emotions and negative experiences as you were growing up, when someone made you mad, when someone made you angry, when you had to change schools, before you started school, the fear of the social thing of all of that, being upset about being mad at your mom or your mom yelling at you. Tapping is such a fantastic thing for the little ones because they're not covered up in all the muck and mire that we're covered up in. I know, and I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but I know one of the things, yeah, you look scared now. I know one of the things that we tapped on early on when we became aware of the tapping was we found a memory that Scott had from childhood about when he was going to be moving from Cleveland to Indiana. And that had so much emotional charge to it that we actually did use a teddy bear when we were doing that tapping because it helps you soothe the inner child and feel a little bit better. I want to tell you that it's so easy to do. What most of us do is kind of make things harder than they have to be. I'm gonna tell you some of the ways that I've tapped with children, some of the ages, because there is no age limit. I have shown mothers holding a baby that's fussy after it's gotten up in the middle of the night to feed, how to tap on the baby, and boom, they fall back out. They go back to sleep. It's really, really awesome. One of my first experiences with tapping with a baby was I had a friend whose baby had GERD. And so whenever you laid that child down to sleep, he would go into screaming. And four of us would stand out in the hallway and we'd start tapping, and within about 2 or 3 minutes, he'd fall out.
Now, do you tap on the baby?
No. First of all, I would never tap on the baby or the child, okay? If they're old enough, they need to be tapping on themselves, okay? When it comes to tapping with the baby, that is what the mother does, okay? Now, sometimes I even have the mother and the baby go back and forth. In other words, the mother would tap on her meridian points to calm herself down because our little ones feel how we feel. Okay?
Yeah.
So if I'm uptight and tense because my baby's not going to sleep and it's 2 a.m. and I'm exhausted, okay, I might want to get me out of the way first, okay? Mm-hmm. And you can even go back and forth. There's no wrong way to do tapping. So if I would tap my eyebrow, maybe I tap my infant's eyebrow, okay? Maybe I tap the side of my eye and I tap the side of my baby's eye. So that's one way. I remember one time I was in Kohl's and there was a 2-year-old, and boy, was he throwing a fit. Arching his back and doing the whole 9 yards. He wasn't having nothing to do with it. His mother picked him up, and when she had him in her arms, I said, tap him right here. She tapped him. She said, tap him right here. He looked at her like, what are you doing? Tap right here. And by the time we got to under the mouth, he laid his head on her shoulder. Aww. She looked at me and went, how'd you do that? I said, I didn't do it, you did. You just helped him calm down. That was what he was looking for. So I've tapped with kids of other ages. I've tapped with 6-year-olds on divorce issues and family issues and just all kinds of things. I've tapped with 11-year-olds on anxiety. I have tapped, just this past weekend, I got the pleasure of tapping with a 14-year-old. Boy, do we all remember being 14. That is a tough, tough time in our life. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go to break. We're going to have our sponsors tell you about them. We're going to come back, and I'm going to show you how to introduce the tapping to your kids and how you can do it. So we'll see you back here in a few minutes.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
welcome back. Now, even if you're watching this and you are not a child anymore, you can tap along with us because there's an amazing thing that happens with tapping called borrowing benefits, and it might bring up some of your issues that may be able to be cleared. Now, we always have fun on commercial. We just talked about what it was like to be 14, and gratefully, most of us have blocked that. Okay, and Scott wanted to bring up something about when we tapped about Cleveland.
Well, when the problem that I had leaving Cleveland is I was leaving all my friends. And what carried forward, we discovered in my adult life, was this idea of abandonment. And I think we've all been through that. So that was my issue, my tapping issue.
Right, because it can make you vulnerable. It can make you feel uneasy about starting new relationships if you feel like people will be leaving. As it turns out, Scott's like the most popular person in America, so he's one of those people who still knows people from second grade and all of those wonderful things. Okay, so let's talk about how to introduce.
And who owes me money.
Let's talk about how to introduce tapping to your kids, okay? So what you want to tell them is you have this really cool thing that you do when you're not feeling really good, and that by doing it, a lot of times we get to feel better. Now, let me introduce my friends, okay? This is Tappin' Honey, as I've named her, and this is Tappin' Buddy. Okay? Now, what I tell folks when they bring their little ones, if they've got a favorite stuffed animal, bring it. Because intention is everything. So if they're little enough, 2, 3, 4, they can even tap on the bear and still get results with their issue because it's the intention of it. Plus, there's a security of it. I know I've tapped with this little girl sometimes when I went back into things that seemed bigger that I could deal with. Okay, so you're telling them you've got this great thing for when you feel bad. You said, do you ever feel mad or scared or sad or angry? And usually they'll say yes.
Yes.
There you go. Good job, Scott. Okay. All right, there, I got my husband to do what I wanted. There you go. See, I'll show you. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to show them the tapping spots first, and I really saw a great way this was explained. First of all, there's the karate chop. The karate chop is down from the little finger. It's that fleshy part of the hand. And when we're doing it with kids, because we're talking about the karate chop, we do it more like a karate chop. Now, you can use the fingers of the other hand onto that karate chop, okay? The next spot that we go to, we tell them is up on the crown, because we actually start top to bottom, okay? There's no right or wrong way to do this, but what we tell them is, you're the king. You're learning to handle your emotions, and you're the king, and so it's right up here on the crown. Okay, now this one I thought was really great, okay? So as the king, you're going to salute yourself. So right there across the eyebrows, right in the middle, right there you go. Right in the middle. See that? If you were tapping right over the bridge of your nose, you'd be getting both of those eyebrow spots. And then the next spot is side of the eye, okay? And it's right along the temple, not too far back, not too far forward. You don't want to be in your eye. You want to be about right there, right in the middle, okay? The next spot is under the eye. You're just explaining this to them, and they're following you along and doing it with you, okay? I do tell people that we're always so happy at home because I'm married a 5-year-old. So this is really, in a lot of ways, really good. Okay, under the nose is right here, okay? And then the chin or under the mouth. It's actually that crease right there. Okay, all right, and then we go into being monkeys, and everybody loves this. Okay, so right about there, you have these little knobs. They're down there, and you beat yourself like a monkey. You now not beat like you're going to hurt yourself, but you just thump there like you would, like the jungle gorilla. Okay, and then the next spot's under the arms. You do it this way. You don't want to be too far up into the armpit. It's about 4 inches down. So see the angle that my arm's at. Okay, and then the next spot, we're going right back up to the crown of the head. Okay? All right. So let's say that, do you ever get mad or angry or upset? Just let them tell you. Let them use your words. So let's just say that your teacher got mad and yelled at you.
Okay.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
So you don't even really have to rate with children because they don't have all the muck and mire that we do. So let's just start there and move through this. Okay? And then we'll come back after the next segment and finish it up. Okay. So go to the karate chop, and you want to say, even though I got mad when my teacher yelled at me.
Even though I got mad when my teacher yelled at me.
I think I'm a really great kid.
I think I'm a really great kid.
Now, right here, I want to explain to you that this affirmation that we use, you can do, I'm a really great kid, I'm awesome anyway. There is an 11-year-old that I work with that would say me like me. Okay, so whatever way it is that you get to do the affirmation that works for you. Okay, and even though when my teacher yelled at me, I got mad. And I'm awesome anyway. And even though when my teacher yelled at me, it made me mad too. I'm a really awesome kid. Okay, and then we're going to go right up here to the crown. Right up here, you say, my teacher yelled at me when I got mad. Okay, go to the eyebrow. We're going to salute ourselves. My teacher got mad and yelled at me. Side of the eye, you can do both sides, one side, either way you want. It's all fine. My teacher yelled at me and got mad. Under the eye. When my teacher got mad and yelled at me. It made me mad. Under the nose. When my teacher yelled at me. It made me mad. Okay, right here in the chin. Okay, under the mouth. When my teacher yelled at me. It made me mad. Now we're going to thump here on the chest. When my teacher yelled at me. It made me mad. Under the arms, looking like a monkey. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay. When the teacher yelled at me. It made me mad. Right up here. When the teacher yelled at me, it made me mad. Now take a breath. Okay, we got a little more time, so we're going to do it again. Let's go right back to the eyebrow. Remember, we're saluting when we're doing it with little kids. You can tap the way we usually do too, but this is just a fun way for the little ones. Remember, this is all about having fun and dispensing this negative emotion, okay? When the teacher yelled at me, I got mad. She made me mad when she yelled at me. Under the eye. She made me mad when she yelled at me. Under the nose. I felt bad when she yelled at me. Chin. When she yelled at me, it made me mad. Collarbone. She made me mad when she yelled at me. Under the arm. Oh, right here. Now, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll start shifting. In other words, they won't hear the line that you said and they'll go, whatever. In other words, they've cleared it. Okay?
Okay.
All right?
Sure.
So we say, I'm not as upset as I was. Top of the head. Whatever. I've seen kids do that. Whatever. Okay, so take a nice breath. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing with this. And what you can do is, you can even have them doing without words. Okay, now you all have heard me talk about tapping without words before. So let's say at the end of the day you go, how was school? And they kind of go like this and you say, oh, did something happen? And they don't want to talk about it. They don't have to. Okay, you can say, remember that tapping thing that we do where we always feel better? Let's do some of that. Why don't you think about what happened today at school? Okay, and we're just going to tap while you're thinking about it. So let's go to the eyebrow. Whoops, we're going to salute. Okay, well actually we start on the crown. Sorry. Okay, and really that's why I keep changing it. The where you go is not as important as the talking and tapping. It doesn't matter what order you do it in. Okay, so here we go. Just think about it. Think about how that felt. Okay, go to the eyebrow. Thinking about how that felt. Side of the eye. How that felt. Go under the eye. Just think it and feel it. Okay, under the nose. Just thinking it and feeling it. Chin. Just keep feeling it. Okay? Because by now you the ape. There you go. By now they've probably come down. Okay? Under the arm, and they may start talking to you about it. Well, Nancy called me a name, or whatever it was that happened. Okay? Just let them talk about it. Go back up here to the crown, and just let them clear. You'll know when they've shifted. They'll be bored. Walk away, just like they do with their toys, okay? Take a nice big breath. We're going to go to break again, and when we come back, we got a little bit more to share.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Welcome back to Tappin' Into You. I've got Scott, my husband, with me today. I also have Tappin' Honey, and I have Tappin' Buddy, because we're talking about tapping with kids today. I want to let you know that in a couple weeks, we're actually going to be talking about teenagers and teenage issues, because it's all of it. Friends, school, acne, hormones, picking a college.
Well, that'll be right in time for testing time for
Yes,
test anxiety.
tapping is awesome for test exam anxiety. That feeling of it's going to leave my brain before I get it on paper. Yeah. Okay. Obviously, we're going to be tapping on that one. Okay. So so there's some things I want to tell you now about doing this with your kids. You can do this while they're sick too. You can address the symptoms. Okay? So even though I have this cough, even though I have this sneeze, even though I'm feeling tired and yucky, okay? Don't worry about the words. The biggest question, the single most question I get asked the most is about the words. People will say, oh, I don't know the words like you do. Just talk about it. Okay? It's really that simple. Just talk about it while you're tapping. They may have a better night's sleep. They may undo congestion. I know one time that I was getting really sick, and in the middle of the night I woke up and it felt like I was swallowing glass. I tapped for about an hour, and the next morning I was completely well. Believe it or not. Okay? It's true. So, you can tap on symptoms. You can tap on even though the homework is hard. Okay? Or even though I don't want to start on my homework, but we'll get on all that in a couple weeks, okay? With these little ones, you want to be talking about what somebody else said to them, how they felt about that, divorce issues, and new parents. And I tapped with a 6-year-old who had a new dad and a new little brother. By the time she left my house, she was tapping on her little brother, who was actually a half-brother, and it really gave her a way of feeling like she was in this new family unit. She was just smiling from ear to ear by the time she left. Okay, so, let's see. Let's talk about me again. My favorite subject. Okay, you can find me at tapngrl.com. You can also find me at tapngrl77@gmail.com. That's my email. Also on Facebook, I'm there. So shoot me a note. Let me know what's going on. Ask me questions about issues. And really, if you live in or around this area and you'd like to be a guest on my show, send me a note and let me know what your issue is and what we might be able to do. Okay, so let me go to, what would you like to say?
Well, just that you had a client, I thought it was very interesting. Recently, they had been called a name.
Oh, I was working with a client recently. And see, this is where people don't understand. They think that children are so resilient that they just, that stuff goes in and out. Okay? I have a client who was called a name when she was little in the family, and it stuck with her whole life, and it's impacted her confidence, her competence, her self-esteem, all of it. And when we went back to the initial time that she could remember that happening, she was feeling more and more empowered. And what I help people understand is what that person did was their choice, and doesn't mean that it's really about me. Okay, that's where I try and get a lot of people, because everybody else can make their own choices and decisions about what they want to do or say. But to understand that what you think of me is none of my business, and to know that most people are coming from that place of saying the things they're saying from their own life experience, okay? Mm-hmm. Listen, I've said this for years, and if there's somewhere you want to plug me in, let me know. But I say, when we have children that love and appreciate themselves, okay, we do not have bullies. All right, and that was the issue I ended up tapping with on this lady, that her brother actually had been the bully. Okay, and she never really thought about it that way. So it was really very cool, the amount of stuff that we could clear and how we did that. Okay, let's see. You can find me. Let's talk about you again. Okay. So why don't you tell us what you do, Scott?
I have a new company called Aware Branding, and you can get a hold of me at 317-437-8448 or Scott at a-warebranding.com.
Great. Let's take
what
this.
is it?
It's a company that does event planning, and I'm going to complement it with promotional products.
Yay!
Thanks.
Okay, and now I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my sponsors again. Special thanks to my sponsors. Logan Street Signs and Banners, who specializes in last-minute signage and banners. Serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 or visit their website, loganstreetsigns.com. Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those. Contact them at 773-317-773-7391. I keep forgetting because I'm in 317. Check them out online at noblesvilletrophies.com. Thanks for being with us today. As I said, we'll be back in a couple weeks to talk about tapping with teens. If you got any questions, feel free to ask me. And until then, keep tapping into you.
Hey, do I